Hey everybody, it's Mr. Delusive with the weekly Devblog. I've been going through a bit this week. If you notice here, there's now the new Planetary building section and there's 2 planet surface. So I've set that up. That doesn't do anything at the moment, but yeah, eventually not only going to be the maps in space, but yeah, on the planet as well. And yeah, I'm going to be changing up how the gameplay works as well. Probably more movement. So like your screen can scroll left and right as well as up and down. But yeah, still figuring out how much freedom of movement I want, whether completely free roam or yeah, keep that space shooter type scrolling up, always upward. But yeah, anyway, that's further down the track. So this week I finished firstly the construction bay. So as you can see here, all the tabs now. I've done the ship materials as well. Weapons are in the weapons section. And yeah, so these are all Delsec. If I go quickly to, I made these little, let's say DS Chimera. I made these little cheat code ones just to test the other faction space. So there's one for every faction. I had them all set up, but I deleted them because when I added the planetary building, I changed how the save files work. So as you can see here, it's all the Chimera weapons, so the copper and copper nickel. And if you go into it, you can see you need copper, so you go to copper nickel. So they're all set up. Same with the ships, say you want to build the Corsair. I've kind of balanced the material lists a bit. So yeah, like the ships take probably double the cost in materials than they would be if you buy them. But I'll gotta go through that in a sec as well. But obviously in the it's always something. I thought something was on the screen, but that's part of this planet. I've got to clean that. Fortuna 4 as well. Fortuna 4. I'll just write that down. Hopefully there's no more. I thought I checked them all. But as well, yeah, I've changed the home planets for each faction. So, say Chimera, it's now Fortuna 4 instead of Fortuna 1. And let's just do DS Reina. So yeah, I think it's Serpentine 2 or 3, that's the Vipersec homeworld and so on. It's Babcutha 3 for Reina. And if we go here, you can see, yeah, Radium. If I remove that FPS counter, and it's all selected. I haven't done any of the engines for the other factions yet. Specials and stuff need to be done, but ships and weapons, same with materials, they're all worked out. So yeah. And that's that. Another thing I spent this week on was fixing this slider for every single section. So what it was doing is you could scroll it down further than the list, and that's because I was just manually creating a formula, like or something like the number of rows times static number like 17 or 9. But what I've actually done is worked out a formula to calculate the proper scroll length so that it'll always be the right size. The only thing it doesn't do that, the only area it doesn't do that is in this materials, in weapons, engines, shields and specials. So they're all got a static scroll size based on the number. So say there's 50, it'll scroll like 500 pixels per pixel here, and so on. And that's because when you add a weapon, say, or remove a weapon from this section here, the scroll position will update, and it kind of got confusing. And I think to keep it clean, these ones had a static. So the other ones though, they work like this. I've fixed a few other bugs, and yeah, as well I've removed the info sections from this one and the ship market. So just do that. If we go to ship market, and so I was on this was last night, I was in the process of changing the visuals here, and that was because of how I've designed the planetary building section, and I've made this look similar. So what I'm doing this week is changing the info here. It's just going to say armor mass. There's not going to be this, the Reign of Vesper part of blah 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 anymore. It's just going to be the info. And I did that just to I don't want to have things that are unnecessary, like the ship info button wasn't really necessary. I can clean it right up and put it all on this screen. So yeah, it works the same way. I'll go back to DSKFA. Yeah, ship buy, ship sell, they work the same way. Just that ship info needs to be changed. And if I go, yeah, so I've got a few here. So the scroll wheel again works properly. But yeah, the ship info just needs to be cleaned up. So that's all been changed, cleaned up. Just to add a better visual for the HUD. And this is the new section I worked on, the planetary building. So at the moment there's 7 things you can buy for each planet. So you got minor 1, 2, 3 and 4. And as you can see, they mine certain materials from the planet. 95% chance to gather abundant, and 5% for uncommon. I'm still working on this section, so none of the functionality is there yet. But what will happen is you're on each planet, say Delusia 2 here, you buy some minor ones, and they'll start mining these resources every minute, let's say. So every 1 minute there'll be a tick, and that tick will cause a random, let's say an int, and if it's 1, 2 or 3, it'll give you, if it's a 1, let's say, it'll give you 1 carbon in that minute tick. So let's say the minor 1 costs 2,000. Every minute it'll generate one of these, and that averages about 10 credits a tick. So it'll take 200 ticks to pay itself off, which is 3 hours 20 minutes. And that's that's just for this planet. Let's say some other planets have better resources in the abundant and so on. So this was I built all this because I want to make the miner path more relevant. So at the moment in the game, then the real thing you can do for mining is go into an asteroid belt, but this is going to get changed as well. It's not going to be that little thing, it's going to be a huge asteroid belt, and then it's going to be all little sections you can click on that asteroid belt to mine. So it'll say, oh, here, high cobalt resource, and then the asteroids there will have more cobalt than other resources, and then like maybe copper here. And because of the construction bay, you need copper for wiring, you need your gold, you need pretty much all resources. And depending on, you go Delsec, you need a lot of cobalt, and so on and so on anyway. So this makes the path of the miner more relevant. So the miners also have a power cost. So the minor 1s is just 1 unit. So from initial you can build just 1 straight up, and then you have to build a few power plants. So this supplies 8 units, so then you can build another 8 minor 1s, or maybe 1 minor 2. And then yeah. So the more you obviously have, the better. But yeah, this is just one planet. So, you know, you go to minor 4, it's got a 75% chance of getting a rare. So on this planet, the rares of cobalt's not that good, but the cobalt sells for like 200 credits, plus you will be using it anyway if you're going to be constructing stuff. So that's that. If I were to fly to another planet, it has a different material list. I've done all the Delsec planets. So I've done all the material lists for the Delsec planets, and I have to do all the other 4 faction planets, which is going to take a while, but I'll get there. So yeah, like, say, you know, you're in Delusia 2, you install 3 minor 1s, later you fly to, say, Serpentine 4, or whatever, Serpentine 2, you install another 3, this is getting your Viperine, let's say, or yeah, or Viperium, you know, whatever the planet is rich in, and yeah. Now the thing I was thinking is it's either automatically going to send it to your cargo bay, or have it so you have to fly to the planet to collect the materials. But either way is kind of there's benefits and issues. So I'm going towards the path of having it automatically go to your cargo bay, just to remove the menial gameplay, like flying back and forth. I mean, it's kind of useful with the trading aspect, but you'd be doing that anyway. If it's going to your cargo bay, say you're flying, say your cargo, I mean, you only get access to cargo bay in certain planets, like there's only 5 locations you get access to your cargo bay anyway. So it's all coming to your cargo bay, then you don't have to worry about, you know, flying all over the place, you know, collecting 40 minerals each time, or whatever your ship's cargo capacity is, and then coming back and forward. This way, it's straight there. You can build it in you can build in your construction bay if you want, fly to another planet to sell it, and so on. So that's kind of one way I was thinking to go with the planetary building. So yeah, it depended, like, you know, you got miners all over the solar system, all over the galaxy. They'll still go to the cargo bay, and the cargo bay is just the global gameplay global thing anyway. So, you know, your Delusia 2 cargo bay is the same as your Serpentine 1, and same as the Bubcutha one. So yeah, I mean, I'm kind of figuring out how to balance it to, you know, to remove that. Yeah, anyway. And the other path I was thinking is, yeah, to have it mine at the planet, and you go to the planet and pick it up, and you come, say you want to use those resources, you'd have to bring it back to your home planet and send it to your cargo bay. But yeah, it's kind of going to be a mess, I think, to do it that way. But yeah, so yeah, that's how that's going to work. And then that allows for the skill tree to, if you're going down the miner path, you know, the skill tree for the miner will be not only to do with mining the asteroid belts manually, but also in the planetary building miners. So, you know, update the tick to 45 seconds instead of a minute, let's say, or gathers twice the amount, and so on, or change the percentages here. And that's all. That adds a lot of customization for the skill tree, at least down the mining path. And I guess how these work the same as the other game, the Delsec game I made, the incremental. So this is kind of an incremental. I mean, these will be a static credit cost to buy. Let's say 2,000, 5,000, 25,000, 100,000, and then from there it's just a matter of it's collecting the resources for you. And yeah, I think that'll take a lot of the grind out of mining anyway, and the construction bay, because I want these to be used features. So the only way to make these proper used features, especially the construction bay, is to make materials more accessible in the game. And yeah, planetary building was one of the ways to do that. I was thinking of more modules, but at the moment there's nothing else I can really think of for planetary building. Maybe a static, skill booster thing that generates skill points over time or something, or XP over time. Other than that, I'm not sure what else could really go in the planetary building section. But yeah, and as well the planet types. The planets have planet types, so like Delusia 2 terrestrial. This will come into play on the planet's surface. But yeah, I mean, that's it. So I've been adding a lot since the past 2 weeks. Fixed up, yeah. I'm trying to think of what else I did. Nothing comes to mind, but yeah, that's all fixed up. Oh, there was a few save issues when you'd save and quit, and that's fixed. But other than that, yeah, that's the main stuff I've added this week, and I'm pretty happy with how this displays. That's why I've changed the ship market section here, and I'm probably going to go through other stuff and change how that displays too. But yeah, this week I've got a heap of typing to do, so I've got to change all the ship info texts here for every ship, which is 150, and then I've still got to do the resource lists for all those other planets, which is still like another 300 or like 280 to go. So that's all. And then I have to do all the functionality for this section, which is going to be annoying. But yeah, guys, that's what I've been working on. That's the plan for the next week, and then yeah, as well the planet surface stuff, and then changing all the gameplay, and then probably back to the weapons. So there's a lot to do. But yeah, I've been working a lot on that this past week, so yeah. Anyway, guys, hopefully we'll see you next week. Thanks for watching.